Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast, and thank you. So, in an effort to make this channel even less interesting than it is, and I know that's a stretch because we don't exactly pack the house, we're gonna get into some more fundamentals today, and we're gonna be talking about opportunity costs, explicit costs, and implicit costs. We're gonna start with the easiest, and this is opportunity cost. What this is the value of what you lose when choosing between two or more options. When you decide, you feel that the choice you've made will have better results for you regardless of what you lose by making it. As an investor, the opportunity cost means that your investment choices will always have immediate and future losses or gains. Choice A or choice B. Consider, for example, the choice between whether to sell your tokens now or hold on to them to sell later. While it is true that an investor could secure any immediate gains they might have by selling immediately, they lose out on any gains the investment could bring them in the future. But the opposite is also true. An investor can also eat the losses associated with the tokens by holding on to them for too long. Gains are easy. You bought for $1 and you sold for $1.10. 10% return of capital. Easy. That is an additional 10% of your total capital available to you for your next purchase. Choose well next time. And that same 10% return is now 11% because you had an additional 10% to invest. Over time, these gains become exponential as your core capital increases. Call it day trading, call it swing, call it whatever you want. What it breaks down to is that your core capital increases in the short term. Now, there are opportunity costs associated with selling. What if the investment keeps going up? You sold. You missed those additional gains. That is the opportunity cost of selling your position. But selling also secures your position. What if it goes down? It's not your problem because you're out. When you're faced with a financial decision, you can try to determine the return you'll get from each option. Is it better for me to secure my position and move on to greener pastures, or is it better for me to ride it all the way up and hope I'm not the greatest fool? That's a choice only you can make, and there is no hard and fast rule for it. Time, experience. These are, in my opinion, the best teachers. Opportunity cost is the proverbial fork in the road with dollar signs on each path. The key is there is something to gain and lose in each direction. You make an informed decision by estimating the losses for each decision. That's important. Don't confuse opportunity costs with explicit costs. For investors, explicit costs are direct, out-of-pocket payments, such as purchasing a token. The money leaves your fiat wallet and ends up in your crypto wallet. These are explicit costs. The opportunity cost element only comes into play after you make the purchase. Once the purchase is completed, you own the tokens, and any other value gained or lost from option A or B, now it comes into play. But there's a third element that must be considered, and it's more or less how I determine a buy or sell, and that is called implicit costs, and it must be taken into consideration in crypto. Implicit costs do not represent a financial payment. They're not direct costs to you, but rather the lost opportunity to generate income through your resources. If you've watched this channel for any length of time, you know by now that I am huge on implicit costs. Buying and holding is one small element for me. The money gained by holding, either through the token increasing in value or the value I gain on those tokens through providing liquidity and staking. That is the final number for me, and I feel it is critical to my success. For example, one of my largest holdings is in a liquidity pool called Osmosis paired with USDC. On the surface, it's not terribly interesting. Osmosis moves with Atom. Large ecosystem tokens move slowly. Therefore, Osmosis moves slowly. It's not exciting. And when you pair it with a stable crypto, USDC, which is designed not to move at all, it's not exciting. It is not a moonshot. That's what I'm getting at. But the implicit value of this particular pool is massive when you consider that it is paying out an APR of just over 80%, 80%. That is 24/7, 365, earning on the money that I have already committed. Further, the pool itself is huge at almost $29 million, so it has stability. It's steady, it's well-funded, and it has large implicit value. That's a trifecta for me because it allows me to leverage this well-funded pool to diversify. The implicit value exceeds the opportunity costs of being invested in a slow token. It works for me. These same tokens, without putting them to work, I don't consider them a very good investment in the short term. They're not going to explode. USDC certainly won't, and Osmo likely won't. They are what you buy when you don't know what to buy. Opportunity costs, explicit costs, implicit costs. These things need to be considered over the long term of your wallets if you want to be successful in a more and more cramped space. Every day, more projects are launching, and the capital available to fund them gets further diluted. What was working for you today might not work for you tomorrow. So this is a formula that needs to be applied to each and every investment you have each and every day. It's work. But how important is your money to you? I think that's the final question you should be asking. I know these are not exciting videos, and I apologize for not being entertaining. But if I can't make you gasp, I'd like to at least pass on what I consider valuable information. These are lessons learned over a lifetime of investing. And every dollar I earn or save today is another dollar I have to invest tomorrow. And these gains become exponential over time. You can always just buy, hold, believe. You can be this guy. You can do that. And you could get lucky. It happens. But these stories are very, very anecdotal. The folks who just grind it out, you never hear their stories. But I assure you, there are a lot more of them. That's all we have for today, folks. I hope you got some takeaways. And if you want to point out all the ways I was wrong, comments below. And I love to hear from you guys. So if you got something to say, please let me know. We might go live again this evening. If I do, it'll be at 1900. And all of our live streams are AMAs. So you know what? Go ahead and let me have it. And that's it. Until next time, please stay safe and please be smart with your money. Cheers.